Hello and welcome. And this is a real special honor. This is Reggae Global and Culture, and let's talk under the Reggae Tree Foundation, USA. We're doing a Jamaica Mexico link up, and we have Pedro and Ezra from Mexico. We've got Dr. Dean Roden from Hermitage Stroke USA. So we're really looking forward to this dialogue. We've got a great event coming up called Cherry Garden Dream Fest, put together by WOWKSI. And as you know, on Fresh FM Radio London, we've been featuring his mixtape. And in fact, after this presentation, you'll be able to listen to this live again. And we'll be playing the 30 minutes mixtape from WOWKSI. So we're looking forward for another hour of great link up Jamaica, Mexico link up for the very first time. And this is in support of Cherry Garden Dream Fest, which will be taking place in Hermitage Park on Saturday, the 22nd of February. And we have Pedro and Ezra. Pedro, great to connect with you.
Thank you.
I'm in London, the headquarters. Dean is in USA. You and Israel are in Mexico.
We are
Great
in
to meet
Mexico
you.
City. Yes.
Excellent.
Nice to meet you. We are very grateful for the invitation and the link up. As you said, Jamaica Mexican link up is very special for us. Thank you, Rudy, and thank you, Dean. So, in the other part of the city is Isra from Soul Red, Mexico. So, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. So, Pedro, first of all, before we get started in the details, tell us about your organization, NATTY Congo Records, or the label. Tell us
Yes.
about reggae in Mexico.
Well. Yes. Natty Congo Records is the first reggae label in Mexico since 2003, officially founded in 2003. And I get inspired because I went to Jamaica in the 90s, back in the 90s when I was very young. I have the opportunity to go to the Bob Marley show. Not Bob Marley show, but it was a Bob Marley tribute, all-star tribute in 1999 at WOWKSI. I don't know if you guys remember. That was a
St. Mary,
fantastic.
Aracabeza is in St. Mary.
Yes, in the north of coast of Jamaica,
That's right.
WOWKSI. It was Lauryn Hill, Jimmy Cliff, all the Marleys. And we went to that show. And after that, when we come back to Mexico, we start to produce our Bob Marley tribute.
Yeah.
Since the year 2000. Then the Natty Congo Records was founded in 2003 because I was doing a lot of links with artists from not only from Jamaica, artists from Latin America too. You know, the reggae in Latin America was growing by those years a lot, and many international Latin bands were coming through the world. So I started to work with some of the bands to promote some of the bands, and we start to do the link up with Jamaica through Latin America with a festival as well. It was called the Festival Vibraciones de América, the Guadalajara version, you know. We used to do that festival in Mexico City and in Guadalajara. I was in charge of Guadalajara. We do it for 7 years. And 2005, it was the most important festival in Latin America in terms of Latin American reggae, always with a Jamaican special guest. So that was a little bit of the beginning of our work in reggae, you know.
Your journey in reggae.
Yes. Yes, then we start to do the like a tour support for many bands in Mexico, and a record label as well. We did like 17 different titles of different bands, and then we stop a little bit because the digital era came. But right now we are again with the digital era, and you can find our productions on all the digital platforms, you know.
Yeah.
So we've been working very hard here in Mexico to introduce reggae and other uh, sounds of reggae like dancehall as well.
Okay, so what is the role of Israel's organization now? How does he fit in?
See, yes, Israel, it comes from Mexico City. I come from Guadalajara. It's a different city, but right now I'm living in Mexico City. But Israel comes from Mexico City in the in the surround. You can hear the noises of Mexico City.
Yeah.
So they founded a venue, a very nice venue in Mexico City called Soul Dread, and they are they already have 17 years working hard with reggae music, and we're gonna ask him, and he can explain a little bit more about Soul Dread, you know. Isra, ¿nos puedes contar un poquito ahora sí sobre lo que hacen ustedes y sobre la importancia de Soul Dread en México, por favor?
Pues sí, bueno, somos un club que nace pues en el gueto, ¿no? Realmente, haciendo
Okay.
fiestas en casas, en patios, y entonces de ahí surgió la idea. Éramos un sound system pues sonidero, charanguero, ¿no? Y entonces de ahí surgió la idea con Dani de empezar a crear eventos, y después de ahí pues surgió Soul Dread, que ahora me considero que Soul Dread es uno de los mejores spots para cualquier exponente del reggae nacional, internacional, jamaiquino, ¿no? Y creo que durante esos 17 años lo hemos demostrado, y con festivales de gran categoría, ¿no? Como los 15 años de Soul Dread, como todas las fiestas que hacemos en Soul Dread, ¿no?
Claro. Okay. Yes, Rudy. Isra said that it's very important to know that Soul Dread was born in the ghetto, you know, in the surrounding areas of Mexico City. You know, Mexico City is one of the biggest cosmopolitan
That's
city
right.
in the world,
Yeah.
and is one of the biggest populations in the world too. So they come from one of these surroundings of the city, where Mexico City touched Ciudad Neza. Ciudad Neza is the surrounding of the city, and they start doing parties like in Jamaica, in the street,
Yeah.
in the houses of the friends. They start as a sound system, and then they build the venue. I remember that venue because I've been there like in the first shows with artists from Jamaica, like Aja Bones from Mandeville, uh, and Fidel Nadal from Argentina. But it was a very small spot back in those days. Right now, if you have the opportunity to come one day to Mexico,
Yeah.
you're gonna visit Soul Red. It's a very nice venue, with a good equipment, with a good PA system, lighting, and everything. And it's one of the best spots for reggae in Mexico since 17 years ago. When 2 years ago they celebrate the 15th anniversary of Soul Red with a big festival. They bring Yellow Man, Don Carlos.
Okay.
¿Quién más trajeron, Isra, en el
Clinton
15
Ferro,
aniversario?
Clinton Ferro,
Clinton Ferron,
Ika Mouse.
Ika Mouse.
Okay.
It was a very nice festival.
Mhm.
And it was like 3,000 people, more or less.
Yeah.
And yes, he said that today is one of the best reggae organizations in Mexico. So I'm agree with them. That's why we are working together some projects.
Yeah.
So we are proud to be part of in this time of the Cherry Garden Dream Fest with WOWKSI, you know.
Yeah. Excellent. So as we mentioned, WOWKSI, so tell us a bit more now about your role with WOWKSI and Cherry Garden.
Yes, it's very funny, you know, because I don't know WOWKSI personally yet.
Okay.
But I was talking with a friend the other day in Jamaica, and I was telling him that there was some Mexican delegation going to Jamaica for for some reggaeton activities. So that friend is Miles from the Lineage family. He works with Asa Lineage, you know. And they are my friends because I record a song with them 3 years ago, and I bring Asa Lineage to Mexico as well. She performed at Soul Red too. One of the shows was at Soul Red with Asa Lineage. So Smiles told me, hey, you have to talk with WOWKSI because that weekend he's trying to put together a show. So link him and talk to him, and maybe your artist and you as well, you can perform at his festival, and we can put things together and help each other to make things happen and bigger, you know. Together we're stronger, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that was the first link with WOWKSI. I talked with WOWKSI, and we start to plan the things, and we helped him a little bit with the flyer, with our designer, and that was the link with WOWKSI because of the Lineage family in Kingston.
Yeah. So as I said, we always play his music, and we've done a festival in Hermitage in August Town with Dean. So I'm going to bring Dean Rodon on board now, because part of this partnering with us on this production is Let's Talk Under the Reggae Tree Foundation. And Dean has got all the history to do with Hermitage and reggae. So Dean, please meet Pedro and Isra.
I tell you, this is one of the biggest events ever happened in the reggae month for this year. And Pedro, and I would say Ambassador Rudy Page, Global Ambassador Rudy Page. What I'm gonna be telling you guys, this is not, you can't download this information. I moved to Hermitage in 1964. So this is thing that I partaked in. Bob, where I used to live, Sangy Davis, who was a chef for Bob Marley, he cooked for all the members of the 12 tribe. So I saw Bob Marley as a youngster, Bunny Wailer, all these guys before they becomes right next door to have lunch. Where you're gonna be performing the Hermitage Park. That park was built in 1951 after the 51 storm. And that's where the first dance hall, that's a community where the first dance hall used to keep uptown. In Jamaica, you have uptown and you have downtown. There's a place that's called Mr. Powell. And if anybody can say, he was the biggest, that's where the dance hall used to keep uptown. So that is a community where you're going to be performing. And then you used to go downtown. And this was before New Kingston built. There was no building in New Kingston. So if you go New Kingston, those days, so uptown and downtown, people would go to dance downtown. And then the uptown people didn't want to go downtown. Then they said, let us meet at New Kingston. So that's how New Kingston get to build where all the thing, that's a newer part, a lot of part of Kingston where we have, I used to go team jam, like, disco in the early 70s. And in the 70s, we have what is called, as you really have the global culture, global reggae global and culture. There's a thing that's called Cultural Day, which started by Professor Barry Shevans in the 70s. And that's where Third World, Miss Lou, and that is the exact spot
Okay.
you're going to be performing. It's a very
Wow.
historical spot. The part that you're going to be performing in, that's exactly where Cultural Day is the first of its kind that takes place in Jamaica. Corner League, so that weekend would have Corner League. So without the first Corner League, in Jamaica in the 70s, it started in Hermitage. Like you have different, then it go to different community, but community cornerly, but in the evening would have a cultural show. So Miss Lou and Ronnie Williams, Third World, all these big artists would come in, and it was a simple little board stage. And another thing I want you to know, 20 years ago, 2005, February, I gave Caesar Kalonji an award in the same part that you're going to be performing. Caesar Kalonji and Caveman, Bubba Simit. I gave them an award in that same spot. Same, Caesar is a legendary, as I do a lot of community work, and Caesar would collaborate with me to do my educational program. So it's very historical. And last year, I have a foundation that's called Let's Talk Under the Reggae Tree Foundation. So I went and launched the head office right in that same community. So the first of its kind. So we're going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary. And the Reggae Tree, it's only in Hermitage, that same community. That's where the Reggae Tree is. It's a Reggae Tree that is in Hermitage right
Wow.
there. So a lot of legend passed through Hermitage. All these singers, Prilly Hamilton, Berries, so Hermitage is noted for its culture. That legacy. When Bob Marley wanna get, it's a community that it's so unique. When Bob feel like just chill, that's where he would come, because they would in Jamaica. There are different type of what you call Rastafari. So you have the 12 tribe of Israel, the Bobo Shanti, the Naya Bingi. Bob Marley was a member of the 12 tribe of Israel. And
True.
Sankey Davis was the cook. He used to cook for that religion. So all the members, from the former Minister of Opposition, Minister Peter Phillip, he was a member of the 12 tribe of Israel. And he used to live in Hermitage. So all these guys who eat, and what they used to eat, they would not eat salt. It's called ital. Today they are calling it vegetarian, but Sankey was the original chef. So we'd see us, Alan Skillcole, Bonnie Whalers, Dennis Brown, all these guys would just come have a little box lunch. So they have it in the day, and after they leave their studio, they would come and sing. So I, as a youngster, that's how we used to go and have our little thing. We would grate the coconut and look the skull and the thing for Sange, and that's how we get a little box lunch. But they were just normal people walking up and down. When Bob come and walk, he was just a normal person, very humble person in those days. So what you're doing today and what Rudy, Mr. Page is doing, it's a very historical event to take reggae to another level. I have been representing Jamaica over 40 years, and reggae, to have reggae in different level. You have the gospel reggae. So what you're doing is taking it to another dimension of saying the message of music. Nobody can, if you notice, is the only music nobody can copyright, because you have all profession in the reggae. You have doctor, you have lieutenant, and each person have their style. So nobody
Sure.
can copyright nobody reggae. So when you go there, nobody will copyright your style, because that's your style. So you're gonna create history by being you, collaborating it with reggae. you know, and we just came back with somebody from who have never been to Jamaica, Rivers, and he sing under the reggae tree. And you know, once you go there, try and touch the reggae tree.
Right.
Nice.
Thanks for that, Dean. So, Pedro,
Wow.
there's a legacy that you're following a legacy line. So, what do you think about
Yes,
what Dean has
Dean.
said?
Yes, Dean. I'm very surprised because I was thinking about. I never been to Hermitage. I've been to Augustown because I've been around the Lineage family many times, like 3, 4 times, but I never been to Hermitage yet. So it's a pleasure, and I was feeling some of that history that you already explained,
Yeah.
and we are very grateful of being part of that historic event. I'm gonna explain a little bit in
Yes.
Spanish what you said to all the people that speak Spanish and for Israel, okay? Yes, Isra, y para la gente que habla español, me comenta Dean Roden que Hermitage, donde vamos a tocar, es un parque que se fundó en 1951 y es un parque donde estuvieron grandes leyendas como Third World en los 70s, Miss Lou, y también se reunían ahí los rastas de las 12 tribus de Israel, porque ahí cocinaba un chef que les cocinaba la comida Aital a Bob Marley y a varios artistas de la época como Bonnie Wailer, entre otros. Skill Cole, que era también un futbolista y muy amigo de Bob Marley, se reunían en Hermitage Park. Y dice que hace 20 años él, Dean Roden, le entregó un reconocimiento a Sisla Kalonji, ahí también en el mismo lugar donde vamos a tocar. De hecho, había posibilidades que Sisla estuviera en este show, porque Sisla es de este mismo, él es de Augustown y está muy cerca de ahí. Entonces, pues bueno, es un lugar histórico que tiene también un árbol que plantaron en los 70s que le llaman el reggae tree, y pues que lo vamos a poder ver por ahí y vamos a poder vivir toda esta experiencia de este lugar mágico. ¿Qué piensas, Irra? Estás muteado.
And I just want to add to
Hold
that
on, Dean.
August down.
Dean, hold. Dean, hold on.
Sorry.
Sorry, Dean.
¿Ya me escuchan?
Yeah. Sorry, Dean.
Pues para nosotros es un orgullo estar ahí, ¿no? O sea, estar en la raíz de lo que te gusta, de lo que haces, de lo que es una emoción encontrada porque cuando haces las cosas de corazón y las haces para que la gente lo disfrute, baile y ser de las personas que sigamos creyendo en el reggae y sigamos difundiendo para que las nuevas generaciones sigan escuchando reggae y estar en el país, en la cuna del reggae, creo que es una emoción para nosotros, ¿no?
Okay. Yes, Dean. Isra said that he's very excited and surprised because of all the information from Hermitage that you shared to us. And they are very excited because they feel like they are all this hard work that they've been experiencing in Mexico to introduce reggae and to promote reggae. Right now, going to Jamaica, to the land of reggae, where reggae was born, they are very excited, because of that. You want to add something, right, Dean?
Yeah, go ahead, Dean.
Yes. Yeah. I just a minute, reverse. A lineage is somebody that I knew her before she was born. I gave her an award, Smiley. I grew up
Okay.
in a better Smiley, which is the manager. We go to school together. So when I
Wow.
went last year, I gave a lineage an award. So once you mentioned it to her, she know me. And that vicinity, Augustown and Hermitage, is like it's like their neighbor. So people would send Augustown in the Hermitage area. So most family, we are like family. So Augustown was there like 180 years ago, and Hermitage is a younger community, but it's a joint. So it's like the people that gonna be coming to support it, they're from Augustown. So I just want to get geographically, it's like, but Augustown is there over 100 year old. So
Okay.
sometime when they say, where's Hermitage? People say up in the Augustown area. So you will hear people say in Augustown. So it's like we're like one big family. So there are people within 5 communities: Augustown, Hermitage, Goldsmith Villa. So you might hear people mention those places. These are the people that come together as one. Like it's like one big family, one neighborhood. So I don't want, so Hermitage is just like a step away in Augustown. It's in all they're all one. So most of the people then that's gonna be coming to listen to you, they're gonna be from Augustown. So you might hear
Oh,
when it's Hermitage. So we are just what is like five is like a smaller community, but people said yes, it's up in Augustown. So you might hear that term. So not to get you confused. So a lineage, she lives in Hermitage. So it's the same areas. That's why I tried. So you said you have been to Augustown. So it's the same, it's like the same
Mm.
place. But so a lineage, she lives in Hermitage, but it's in the Augustown area.
okay.
And that's why I
Yeah,
give you.
So it's getting more special for me.
So you have been.
exactly, Pedro.
You know why? Because we shoot a video clip 2 years ago at the there at
Really?
where Asa Linus lives, and there's a mural of the Crank Up Motorcycle Club of Sisla there, and we shoot a video. Part of our video that I performed with Asa, we did it there. So coming back again to perform there, it's gonna be fantastic for us.
Yeah, that's great. Now,
See,
what we'd like you to think about, Pedro and Isra, is that we have not got a reggae tree in Mexico. So we need you to find a tree in your areas that can be a reggae tree, which then we will twin with the reggae tree with Dean. And we have a
okay,
reggae tree in London as well, in
okay,
a place called Brent, Northwest London, which is like the reggae capital. Years ago, all the artists, this is where they used to record. This is where, all the record labels. So it was a very important place in terms of reggae in London. It's called Harlesden. So that really was the capital. And then the other thing is, do you play dominoes in Mexico?
yes, we play dominoes in Mexico. I'm not sure if it's the same style like
I
in
know.
Jamaica, but
It,
but
it,
yes,
you
we
you
play
wouldn't be able
dominoes.
to beat Jamaica though. That's all I can say, whichever style.
Okay,
That's a challenge. Next year, bring a domino team to Hermitage and we'll have a big competition.
okay, okay, okay.
I invite Rudy. So sorry, Rudy. Well, I have a friend. He's from Puerto Rico. He have never been to Jamaica, and I took him. He was my Uber driver 2 years ago. And when I tell him I was going to Jamaica, he said, "No, I'm not leaving him." So Rivers went to Jamaica under the reggae tree. So he's a rap artist, and now Rivers also went and blessed the reggae tree. So he's our reggae ambassador in New York. Rivers,
Okay.
so he can talk both. I mean, he can speak. I think he can speak Spanish, and he can. So he's very, he can speak both language. So he's now. He went to Hermitage, so he can give you his view.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Greetings, Brother Reavers. Long time no speak.
Greetings, saludos, saludos, greetings.
Well,
Saludos, hermano.
so
So I had the privilege to go to Jamaica with Uncle D for Let's Talk Under the Reggae Tree. And I was in August Town. I went to Hermitage in August Town. And I've got to connect with the community there. And I've got to see the beautiful island firsthand. And I consider myself, well, I am an ambassador of Let's Talk Under the Reggae Tree. It has done so many wonderful things for me. not only did I get to experience the island, but I feel like I've taken a piece of the culture with me. So, and I will never forget that. So
and you performed as well, didn't you? You did a performance.
A performance, yes, I did. I performed at 56 Hope Road. We did so many things that I apologize, Rudy, that it did not come to me. But yes, I performed with Bongo Herman. I was part of the Bob Marley tour. I played for the people of them over there. I played Redemption Song, and I played what's the other Bob Marley tune? I played a rendition.
Yeah.
So
What I mean, just a minute, Rudy. What I mean, Rudy, Israel speaks Spanish. He doesn't understand English. So sometime maybe if you can translate what you have said to us.
Yeah, you can speak in Spanish to Israel and to Pedro.
Oh,
that
well,
would be good.
In my wife, I write songs in Spanish, but you know, my wife helps me. Sweetheart, my wife was with me, and she came on the trip to Jamaica. Sweetheart, what was your experience in Jamaica? En español. Because
Hola.
Hola, mucho gusto.
Hola.
La experiencia que yo tuve con mi esposo en Jamaica fue una experiencia bien bonita. Ellos nos abrieron las puertas y nos enseñaron tanto y nos dieron tanto amor cuando nosotros fuimos allá. Nos trataron como familia. Pero fue una experiencia bien bonita.
Sí, señorita.
Señorita,
had a great time. Señorita had a good time.
Ciao.
So Pedro, what would you like to say? Back to you.
Yes, it's a pleasure to link up with these people from Puerto Rico. You know, we have good friends in Puerto Rico as well. We work with bands like Gomba Jabari from Puerto Rico, Cultura Profética a long time ago too.
Wow.
So Cultura, Puerto Rico has a very close connection with Jamaica as well.
Yes.
Of course, it is the land of reggaeton, you know? It's like the modern reggae or the dancehall, but
children everywhere.
Yes, they love roots. The Puerto Rican people love the roots music because I've been there 2 times already, and I was very surprised when I link up with Puerto Rico because we always have like difference between Mexicans and Puerto Ricans because I love box and we always fighting against the Puerto Ricans and in the basketball too.
Yeah.
But when I went to Puerto Rico, I really feel I love Puerto Rico. We are brothers, you know. We are the same root, and it's great to make this link between Mexico, Puerto Rico, Jamaica at this moment.
And London.
For sure.
And London.
I have to remind Dean, this is the headquarters. London is the headquarters. I'm always reminding him.
Yes. Where the rock and roll was born.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Great. So
thank you.
This has been fantastic. So what I'm going to ask Rivas to say something and his wife to say something in Spanish, Israel to say something in Spanish, Pedro to do English and Spanish, and Brother Dean to finish off in English. So, Rivas, over to you first.
Okay. So, me llamo Rivas y yo vivo en Rochester, Nueva York.
Okay.
Y yo, sweetheart, I need help.
All right. You can do English as well, Rivas. No problem.
Okay. I live in Rochester, New York. and I'm a Let's Talk Under the Reggae Tree ambassador. And I love reggae music. I love my culture. I love Jamaican culture. And I love the urban culture as well because I'm a hip hop artist. So it is a blessing to be here. Sweetheart.
Me llamo Lesia. Nací en Ciales, Puerto Rico. He estado en los Estados Unidos desde los 3 años, aquí en Rochester, Nueva York. Y ha sido un placer ser parte de Let's Talk Under the Reggae Tree con mi esposo.
Thank you.
Okay, Isra?
Isra, lo que quieras decir como para despedirte.
Pues nada, agradecerles el que nos hayan tomado en cuenta. Gracias a ti, Pedro, gracias a toda la comunidad del reggae en México, que al final, pues somos pocos y para difundirlos necesitamos estar como todos unidos para seguir difundiendo el reggae, ¿no? Que esa es nuestra misión por parte de Soul Dread, ¿no? En este punto es como el que siga creciendo Soul Dread para que sigan potenciando el reggae y que nunca muera el reggae, ¿no? Que siga vivo Bob Marley hasta por muchos años, ¿no? Forever.
Thank you.
Okay.
Pedro?
Bueno, sí, pues Isra said that he's very grateful for the invitation to WOWKSI, to NATTY Congo, and the link with Rivas, and you guys in London and the States. And we are very proud that we're gonna be for the first time at the Hermitage Park. And our mission is to keep working on and spread the message of reggae music all over the world. And if we stay together we are stronger, you know.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
give thanks again.
Thank you very much for that. And Brother Dean,
Yes,
our
yes.
co-host under Let's Talk Under the Reggae Tree Foundation.
I tell you, this is the most historical moment of Reggae Month. You know, this is the most historical moment. Why I say that, when I met Rivers, he was singing Life is Like a Road, Bob Marley with lots of sign. And I said, you know, Sangy? He said, yes, Sangy Davis wrote that song. And Rivers get a privilege to perform with Sangy this year. They are doing a song right now with Sangy Davis. Rivers went to Jamaica, and we went to visit Bob Marley Museum. And when I introduced Bongo Ehrman, who performed with Bob Marley, Rivers was there for 3 hours, not as a visitor now, but he was performing with Bongo Ehrman. You know, so this moment of Rivers performing with both the writer and, you know, Rivers is more treasurable about having the legacy of Jamaica reggae history. And I don't think he knows what, you know, to have this, not to download, but to touch these people, to shake their hand, to in a platform in the same space. And these are people that walk and talk with Bob Marley daily. And not only Bob Marley, but all the other reggae artists, Dennis Brown and several other. So Rivers, you're a legacy. You're a walking history for Jamaica reggae right now. You know, so once again, it's for me, it's a pleasure, it's an honor, and you know, my over 40 years of, you know, working in community development, this type of thing motivate me. As I said, WOWKSI is somebody who was the first interview WOWKSI went on. I was the one that take him to there. His mother used to perform in that same stage. WOWKSI uncle used to dance in the 60s on that same stage. Because what he used to have is cultural day. So imagine a festival before Sunsplash. That's what something like what Sunsplash used to happen in Hermitage in the 60s, in the 70s. You have football, you have cycle race, you have netball. Just imagine all the sports. And in the evening, they would have like singers, then they have actors where, you know, Contraman, Student 99, he would perform, you know, as a like, you know, all these people, their parents used to perform. So now the pattern has been passed on, because I said I know WOWKSI before he was born. You know, me and his brother go to the same school. So to see WOWKSI, I took WOWKSI, before I leave Jamaica, I took WOWKSI to make a presentation at the Augustown police station. The next time I saw WOWKSI, I said, wait, we didn't get that uniform. He was a sarge. So for me to watch the transition with all a lineage, I know them before they're born. I mean, Smiley, her husband. So it's a pleasure for me to see the transition of reggae music. And now I used to
Should
make that stage, but I'm a carpenter, so we used to perform. I was the one that take the plywood and thing. You are so fortunate, you know, to you're gonna go on a built-in stage, a well-built concrete stage, so you can jump and you know, so
So,
it has
so
improved. So it's a pleasure, and I think it's a very historical moment, both for the community, you know, who have also just received its status. You know, and you're gonna go there to highlight the entire Augustown and Hermitage and Goldsmith Villa in a positive way that reggae is transmitting across the world and it continue to transmit across the world in all the different forms.
thank you very much for that, Dean. And yes, Pedro, I would just like to add then, as one of the directors of Fresh FM Radio London, also the producer for the Reggae Global and Culture, every day, everywhere. And we're really pleased because culture, that unseen strand that binds us all together. And of course, reggae music does that regardless of your background, your culture, your status or location. So this has been fantastic for us because it is Reggae Month. And so we're really pleased. So just to remind everybody, Cherry Garden Dream Fest, which is next weekend, Saturday, February the 22nd in Hermitage Park. And for those of you who don't know the area, off Mona Road, it's going to be a great day. And you can listen to this broadcast again on Fresh FM Radio London in the next 20 minutes or so. I've sent you the link, Pedro, so you can listen to this.
Thank you.
And share it with everybody. So very well
we're gonna
done.
do it.
And we look forward to this festival to grow and be a major festival in Jamaica. And then one day we're all looking forward to coming to Mexico.
Sure, we were talking about that with WOWKSI. He told me why we don't make that festival in Mexico next year. So yes, we have to talk and we have to put things together.
Yeah.
We are working some things with the Mexican embassy as well. We have some assistance from them that we have to be grateful to the Mexican embassy in Kingston.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful with all you guys because of your time. You take your time to come together right now. Thank you to Fresh FM and your program, Rudy. Thank you, Dean, for all the information, the historic information that you share with us. Thank you, Rivas. Keep fighting and keep struggling in Rochester as a real Puerto Rican, and your wife too. Respect. Thank you to Soul Red in Mexico too as well. And it's our mission to keep the message alive through the new generations. As Dean said, that he know all these guys that are gonna perform at Hermitage Park before they born, and he's happy because of the transition, and he see all the people grow. And us as a new generation, we have to keep the same work happening to spread the message, the positive message all over the world, because we are living in a difficult times. So we have to keep together, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, and everybody, you know. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, and good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks.